Hi go, wagwan, sac passe, buenas tardes, and good afternoon. Welcome to Floribean Flavors with Chef Laron Culmer. Hey, they got me in a new kitchen. Hey, I made it. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to cook for you guys. First thing I got to do is shout out to my sponsors, my family in the Bahamas, Bonaventure Medical Lab, Bella Rock Sweets. It's definitely something to look into for you guys. It's something for when you trip to the Bahamas. It'll be very helpful for you all. Please check out my sponsors. They definitely made this happen, and we're going to definitely have a lot of fun today. For my first dish, we're going to do something called sausage, peppers, and plantains. It's my recipe, original recipe. It's just a basic spin on Italian cuisine, basically with the Italian influence in Florida and all the Italian restaurants. Sometimes they gotta put something on for the Caribbean crew that come through. So this is just a little remix on some things that I'm planning on doing, and I can't wait to cook for you guys. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, guys. So let's get this party started. I don't want to waste any time. So what we're going to do is, we got a nice little hot skillet right here, and I got some green plantains. I like them ripe sometimes, but for this situation and the long cooking, I wanted to give some nice green plantains so they could soak up all this flavor and juices into one, each one having a really nice bite. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put a little bit of oil down inside the pan while we got it nice and got a little bit of smoke coming off to the top of that. There we go. Give that a couple seconds so that could stay nice and hot. But no, sausage and peppers is one of those dishes in my time cooking in Florida. I've worked in a number of Italian restaurants, and it was always a number one thing sold inside this, sausage and peppers, sausage and peppers. It got to a point I was like, who's ordering this? And then I ate one day and I was like, okay, it all makes sense now. So I became a sausage and peppers fan, and I cook it at home for me and my wife all the time. So now that we got a little bit of heat going, I'm going to throw these plantains in first. Reason being is, I want them to get a nice sear on there, and I want them to cook up the longest. There we go, we're starting to bubble a little bit. Beautiful. That crackling is music to me. Some people think that's just crackling, but to me, that means the party is just getting started. So boom. And that's the beauty of Floribean food. Floribean food is one of those foods where there's no rules. You can take a classic dish and throw something in there that nobody's expecting, and everyone, when you come to the party, is like, what did you do? And you're like sitting at home like, I just do what my grandmother's been doing. You know, so don't feel afraid to use products or use ingredients. I think with Floribean food, the fun is in experimentation. So if you like a dish, I don't care where the dish is from, you add something to it that makes it yours. I just want all of those to sizzle up right over there. Now, while I got my pan getting nice and hot and my plantains getting a little bit of color, I'm actually going to throw my sausages in now. Main reason is I want them to be thoroughly cooked, and I want them to get a little crust on the outside. And also I want the plantains to soak up some of the fat juices from the sausage. So when I want you to bite into this, I want you to get a bite of everything. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to put these in first, and then I'm going to cut up the rest of these peppers, and we're going to get this party started. So then let's cut up some peppers, the rest of these bad boys. I take off the tops, and I like to de-seed them a bit, mainly because I found out that inner little white core usually has makes it a little bit of gaseous for the eater. So for me, I find that to be a little easier done. Quick way. Like all my chef friends back in Miami, South Beach say, you gotta show your knife skills. So I cut out the ribs. It's a little time consuming with these little peppers, but it's all worth it in the end. I know some of our watchers are wondering, like, what does Italian and peppers, sausage and peppers have to do with Floribean food? That seems like all Italian. You're gonna see in a second here exactly All right, we're finishing off cutting up some peppers. I got some crust going on my plantains and my sausages. So I know some people are wondering like, hey, he's just making stuff up, calling stuff Floribean that's originally Italian or whatever. Give it some time. Sure, by the end of the episode, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm so happy to finally be able to showcase my own cooking show on the Eat This TV network now. That, you know, one thing I'm definitely going to have fun doing is being creative. And I want to cook food that people are able to cook at home. I don't want to cook food for you to look at and be like, oh, that looks nice. I want you to cook food where you look in your fridge and say, I got sausages in my fridge too. I got plantains, I got cilantro in my fridge too. You could put on my episode and you'll see that, you know, I'm going to give you so much different ways to do this. And it's going to be a lot more fun. All right, getting a nice color. Oh yeah. One thing about island people, if you don't crust the plantains, you go home. They will not stand for that. I'm gonna crank up the heat just a little bit more. And then we're gonna get ready to add the rest of our ingredients. So when we get back, we're gonna throw in the peppers, we're gonna light it on fire a little bit and finish this off. Trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss how good this dish is. Sausage and peppers, Floribean Flavors. All right, we got some smoke in the kitchen. That means somebody's cooking. So I'm turning over my sausages now. Give me a nice crust on all of them bad boys. That's what we want. Now, in traditional Italian sausage and peppers, it'll go with a little garlic, onion, white wine. We're gonna switch it up just a little bit for us. I got some red onions going inside here right now. I'll let all that cook up together. And now, the reason why we all came to the party. Peppers. Throw all that in there. Now is when I like to season up this dish. I put a little bit of salt, kosher salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and I start to mix that all up together. Now that we got everything starting to incorporate each other, you see the sausages aren't all the way cooked yet, but we got a little bit of color on that we want. So from here, I'm gonna let it cook up just a little bit more. All right, I got everything nice and incorporated together, and here's where the fun part starts. I like to get it all hot and juicy, and then I hit it with a little bit of Caribbean spiced rum. I like Captain Morgan's for this, but what it does is it gives it another flavor that you just kind of wasn't expecting. And to be honest with you, from the island, it takes you home. Because ain't nothing like just throwing some rum on some good meat and good food and let it cook off. It takes you home. So I got some Caribbean spiced rum here. We're just gonna cook off there. And we're gonna flambe it off. There we go. Cook off all that nice alcohol. Get everything nice and together. All right, beautiful. Okay, now from there, we're gonna finish this off with a quarter block of butter and let that melt. All in that, and we're gonna garnish it with a little bit of cilantro just to take us home. From here, we're gonna let this cook down for about 15 minutes just to make sure that our sausages are done. And then we are good to go on our sausage, peppers, and plantains. When we come right back, we're gonna be plating. Stay tuned. Awesome, we are back, everybody. It's time to plate our sausage, peppers, and plantains Floribean style. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this heat off. We have some nice caramelization on our sausages. We got all of our peppers cooked off, our plantains are cooked off. They're nice and soft now. So, you know, it's time to go ahead and plate and let's get this party going. All right, cut that off. Beautiful. So how I'm gonna plate this is, when I was in school, or really not even that, but when I really got into the business and I learned about plating and making things look nice, I learned it's all about height. If you can get height on your dishes, height and color, you're gonna have a sexy plate. So that's why I like to say we are making sexy food. Food that looks good, tastes good, smells good, all of the above, not just taste good. Like we didn't do all this work just for it to taste good. We need it to look good, taste good, everything. So we're gonna put a good grip of the sausage and peppers on the bottom, or at least the peppers and plantains on the bottom. I'm gonna try to put a plantain in every little spot. Fill that up, beautiful. Beautiful. All right. On top of that, we're gonna lay our nice Italian hot sausages right across the top. And sometimes, you know, we have family. We have people from all different walks of life coming in town. Dishes like this is what you could do and just literally shock the whole party. Whereas you took a dish that grandma made popular and you turned it up to a way that the kids could eat now and the teenagers could eat now. Okay, put that there. Sausage, peppers, plantains, and we're gonna garnish that with some nice, fresh cilantro. Give us a little bit of color, a little pop of freshness, also to cut down all the fat. All right, and this is our first dish for Floribean Flavors with Chef Laron Culmer: sausage, peppers, and plantain.